welcome to Audiobook Reviews in 5. Today I'm going to review Catch and Kill, Lies, Spies, and a Conspiracy to Protect Predators by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Ronan Farrow. The title here refers to a practice by the National Enquirer, as well as other tabloids, of buying up and then burying negative stories, largely about powerful men. And it's worth noting here that Farrow has since developed a podcast that delves into other blockbuster stories about the systems that protect these men who are accused of crimes in Hollywood and in Washington and beyond. And as many critics have noticed about this book, it does have the pace of a thriller. But the interesting irony for me is that had it been shaped or framed as a fictional narrative, I'm sure readers and critics would have labeled it as unbelievable. And part of this is due to the fact that there are just so many obstacles in the way of Ronan Farrow's search for the truth. And these go up as far as Noah Oppenheim, the president of NBC News. And of course, it emerges that a lot of this obfuscation stems from what was known behind the scenes at the time about Matt Lauer, the Today Show host. And for some readers or listeners, I should say, since this is an audiobook I'm reviewing, the narration by Farrow is not especially enjoyable. Some people have mentioned that his imitation of foreign accents is a little bit amateur, but that's totally fine. I didn't feel that that was a problem for me. I thought it was interesting and it felt meaningful to listen to this story as told by the author. And with audiobooks, that isn't always the case. Sometimes you really want a professional narrator or an actor to voice over the story. But in this case, I think Ronan Farrow does a great job. And what really drew my interest, apart from the riveting sequence of events and the pace, is the human scale of all of this. So Ronan's research and his investigations are in many ways, they're very lonely. A lot of this work he's doing even with the opposition, or at least lack of support from his colleagues or acquaintances in the media, and sometimes with explicit threats. But I think everybody who does enjoy this book would probably agree that it summarizes what's been covered in the news as far as the Me Too movement and some of the events that led to the Me Too movement in a really compelling and organized way. And that made it really easy to follow and easy to recommend here. And I cannot wait to listen to the next audiobook written and read by Ronan Farrow, partly for that reason. Just incredible reporting and resonant emotional depth to what's happening, even as his own relationship. So his own personal relationship is impacted by the stress of his reporting and the challenges that it takes on his personal life. There's a few key moments in the book that are very brief but incredibly heartfelt about his partner at the time, who he went on to marry, and it put into context some of the emotions that go into investigations like this. So I highly recommend this book. I think at the very least, you'll be on the edge of your seat. You're in for a great story. And it also can add a lot of context to news stories that at times seem quite iterative. And I strongly encourage you to check it out.